Hello, I'm Nadine, Racial Justice Officer for the Diocese of Chester. Today we will be learning about anti-racism, what it means, why it matters, and how we can all play a part in creating a more inclusive and respectful school community. Today will be a chance for us to reflect, learn, and grow together. Racism is the belief that some races are superior or inferior to others, often resulting in discrimination and unequal treatment. Racism can be individual, institutional, or systemic. So that means it's more than just hateful words, it's the belief that one race is better than another. This can show up as individual actions, it can be institutional policies, for example, where people work, it can be systemic inequalities, for example, the structure of an organization or school system, which allows for racial prejudices to occur. For example, research from the UK Equality and Human Rights Commission shows that ethnic minorities are more likely to experience discrimination in education, employment, and the criminal justice system. That's unfair. That means that somebody, just because they're born with darker skin, might be treated much worse than somebody born with lighter skin. Bias and prejudice. So bias is a tendency to favour or dislike something or someone. So you've got to remember that we all have biases. Many of them are unconscious biases. Prejudice, well, that's prejudging people based on race, ethnicity, or appearance. Prejudice is a judgment formed without full knowledge of someone or something. So these ideas combined can fuel racism. Recognizing and challenging our biases is a vital step toward being anti-racist. So here's your discussion question. Can you think of a time someone made an unfair assumption about you? How did it make you feel? Discuss this with the people around you. So where does racism all come from? Let's do a brief history of UK racism. So around 500 years ago, Britain, France, Spain and Portugal became colonizers in Africa, Asia and the Americas. They claimed land that was not theirs. They treated the natives harshly and inhumanely. The transatlantic slave trade started in the 1500s until the 1800s. Men, women, and children were forced to leave their native countries to work on plantations in the Caribbean. The enslaved people work on farms that grew sugar, cotton, and tobacco. Slavery in the British Empire was officially abolished, that means eradicated, taken away, in 1833. Even though it seems like a very long time ago, the slavery lasted for over 300 years. This is longer than the time that it has been abolished. The impact still has lasting damage even today. So racism in the UK has deep roots. During colonialism and the transatlantic slave trade, Britain enslaved over 3 million Africans. These systems of oppression laid the foundation for racial inequalities that are still present today. The Windrush generation mistreatment and recent data on stop-and-search practices show that racial injustice continues. Black people are 9 times more likely to be stopped and searched by police than white people in England and Wales. This counts as institutional racism by the police. They are targeting black people because of prejudices which are not true. So what is anti-racism? Anti-racism means actively identifying and opposing racism by changing policies, behaviours and beliefs. Anti-racism is not just about not being racist, it's about actively standing up against it. So there you have it. It's not just about not being racist, it's actively working against racism in all of its forms. That includes changing unfair policies, calling out racist behaviour, so not just standing around and watching people get attacked. And you're also called to challenge your own assumptions. So let's see if you can do this next activity. You witness a racist incident at school. What should or could you do? Everyday racism isn't always obvious. It might be jokes, being excluded, or assumptions based on someone's name or skin colour. Microaggressions like these can deeply hurt and isolate people. Sometimes people might stereotype or have unconscious bias. People might have racial slurs, jokes, or microaggressions. So that would mean you might start laughing at people, but not in a serious kind of way, in a jokey kind of way, so that you can say whatever you want without the consequences. Cultural appropriation. This means that you might imitate somebody else's culture. For example, you might decide to have a Jamaican accent randomly to make everybody around you laugh. But those of Jamaican descent might not find that very funny. There's also unequal opportunities. So for example, if you have unconscious biases about certain people, you might not want those people to be close to you or in your groups. Let's learn to recognize our own biases and try and challenge them. Why does anti-racism matter in schools? Well, it creates safer, more inclusive environments, it empowers all students, and it promotes empathy and respect. You've got to think about it. Schools should be safe spaces for everyone. Anti-racism helps us to create those kind of spaces that allow people to thrive fully in those environments. And when you think about it, racism is really silly. Can you imagine just being laughed at for having blue eyes or straight hair? Let's try to position ourselves in the shoes of those who are bullied based on their brown skin or their afro-styled hair. It really is silly. Nobody should ever be treated badly because of the way that they look. A 2021 UK government report showed that Black Caribbean students are more likely to be excluded and less likely to achieve top GCSE grades. This isn't because Black Caribbean students are less intelligent. This is because teachers may be stereotyping students through their unconscious biases. This is evidence that racism affects real outcomes. There's plenty of ways that you can be anti-racist. You can read lots of different books by a variety of authors from different ethnic groups. You can speak up when you see racism instead of being silent. You can support marginalised groups by buying from a variety of businesses. And you can challenge your own biases. So, for example, you might naturally look at somebody who's tall and say, "Oh, I bet they play basketball." Maybe just go up to them and ask them instead of having these ideas in your head before you've actually spoken to the person. Simple things like this can reduce our unconscious biases and help us to contribute towards anti-racism. Allyship and advocacy. Well, they seem like very big words, but an ally is someone who supports others in fighting injustice. An advocate is someone who speaks out and takes action for a particular group of people. So just as we said before, instead of staying silent when you see bullies and racism, you can be an advocate instead and stand up for that individual. So let's all be allies and advocate for justice. Justice that we can all be equitable and have the same equal opportunities. But we've got to remember it's not about being the hero, because that would be censoring yourself and not the people involved. It's about standing with those who are affected and using your voice to help them. So let's think practically. You're about to see two scenarios that show racism. Ask yourself, what could you do in this situation? And how can I be an advocate and an ally?
I told you I'm gonna pay for it. And then Wait, where'd you get your scarf from?
Pardon?
Your scarf?
Your tea towel. I really like it.
You know, in Australia, we use tea towels for washing the dishes.
Wait, where'd you get your scarf from?
Pardon?
Your scarf?
Your tea towel. I really like it.
You know, in Australia, we use tea towels for washing the dishes.
Hey guys, leave her alone.
Come on, mate, we're just asking where she got her scarf from.
He said leave her alone. She didn't do anything to you.
Oh, come on. We're just having a laugh.
Well, it's not very funny.
Whatever. Come on, let's just go.
Thanks.
In both scenarios, racism was presented. They are being targeted based on their identity. Speaking up can be hard, but silence can hurt even more. It's okay to feel nervous, but even a small comment like, "That's not okay," can make a big difference. You've also got to remember that some people have been verbally abused so much that they no longer have the confidence to speak for themselves. Worldwide, there are many shocking cases of racism. I've picked 2 tragic examples which show us what's at stake. Let's honour 2 young men whose lives were taken because of racism. Stephen Lawrence, he was murdered in 1993 and was a student just like many of you. He was ambitious, bright, and full of dreams. His murder and the failure of the police to get justice shocked the nation and led to a public inquiry into racism in British institutions. The police mishandled the case, and there was a finding that the Metropolitan Police was institutionally racist. Anthony Walker was also 18. He was murdered in 2005 while walking to the bus stop. He was studying for his A-levels. He loved basketball and he had his whole life ahead of him. These aren't just names. They were real students with real futures, stolen by hate. We remember them by choosing love and justice every day. We must endeavour to be allies and advocates for racial justice. Now it's time to reflect personally. Write down 2 things that you will do to promote anti-racism in your school. Examples might be to call out racism when you see it, to learn more about different cultures in your class, to encourage your teacher to bring in more diverse voices. It could even be a case of simply listening when somebody is sharing their experiences of racism. Even one simple action can ripple out and change someone's day or their whole school experience. Let's be committed to change. If you want to learn more about how you can be a positive advocate and ally, here are some resources to help. Show Racism the Red Card. This is great for young people and sports fans. The Black Curriculum, it's resources all about Black British history. In school, if you have a school counsellor, you can share your problems and concerns with them. You can look for student-led groups or clubs promoting inclusion. And you can use your school library to ask for diverse books if they're not already there. So now let's reflect. What was something new that you learned? What shocked or moved you? And how will you act differently now? This isn't just a one-time conversation. It's a lifelong commitment to respect, fairness, and justice. We can absolutely do this. Let's pledge to be allies to marginalized voices. Together, we can make the world a much happier and safer place by being truly united. Being anti-racist means taking responsibility even when it's uncomfortable, but you're not alone. Together, we can make our school a place where everyone is seen, heard, and respected. Thank you for listening, for reflecting, and for caring. Let's go out and do the work.
Have you ever seen a garden with lots of different flowers? Some are small, some are red, and some are blue.
And some even smell different. But you know what? They all make the garden beautiful.
Imagine if every flower was the same colour, the same shape. That would be boring, wouldn't it?
People are like flowers too.
We all look different, may speak different languages, and we have different talents.
Some of us run fast,
Some of us sing.
and some of us tell the funniest joke.
Just like flowers in the garden, we make the world more special when we are together.
Our differences make us stronger, kinder, and more fun.
So let's celebrate every flower, every person, and every difference.
It's because that is what makes life so amazing.
So amazing. So amazing. So amazing.
My eyes are blue, my eyes are green, my eyes are brown, they're part of me. I speak English, I speak Urdu, I speak in Yoruba. How about you? We're all amazing, all these parts of me. We're all amazing, all these parts of you. We are different, each of us, it's what makes us precious. So love yourself, we're all amazing. My hair is short, my hair is straight, my hair is curly, it's really great. Sometimes I'm quiet, sometimes I shout, sometimes I'm giggly. There is no doubt that we're all amazing, all these parts of me. We're all amazing, all these parts of you. We are different, each of us, it's what makes us precious. So love yourself, we're all amazing. I walk with sticks, I've got my chair, I use my legs to get everywhere. My skin is dark, my skin is light, my skin is freckly, we all shine bright. We're all amazing, all these parts of me. We're all amazing, all these parts of you. We are different, each of us, it's what makes us precious. So love yourself, we're all amazing. What are the parts that make you you? What are the parts that make me me? We are different but we're one, and we can live in harmony.